So you're thinking about moving to St. Paul, Minnesota? Well, in this video, we're gonna walk you through with doing our fingers do the walking and Google Maps doing the talking. We're gonna show you around the city of St. Paul, give you a feel how logistically your life's going to work, and tell you about the properties that are available and active on the market to give you the price ranges that are around so you can get an idea what'll fit in with your budget. And if you stick around till the end, I'm going to share with you some of the best kept secrets of St. Paul, Minnesota. And we're going to get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything that there is to know about living in St. Paul, Minnesota, you found the right place. Click that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and smash that like button on the way in so you can be the first to know about the current market in St. Paul, Minnesota. Now, my name's Garrett Hilton. We get calls, texts, emails every single day from people just like you, looking for help on making their move to St. Paul, Minnesota. And we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. Oh, we also have Zoom now. Yay! Super exciting. I know that's old news, but we love to be able to connect with people over Zoom, especially our relocation clients coming from other states. So again, thank you for watching this. We really appreciate it. And hi, hello, Texas, Florida, California. Again, all of our contact information is in the description below. Okay, so today we're gonna start out right now with, I think it makes sense to start out with what's actually available on the market in St. Paul. And so what we're gonna start out by doing, I am sharing my screen up here, and I'm gonna show you guys the outline of St. Paul, and here we go. And there it is, it's already done. So St. Paul is one of the twin cities in the state of Minnesota. And I've already outlined in black to kind of give you an idea where it's at. If we were to, so that you know, we're gonna flash out, or we're gonna pan out and get rid of that. The city of St. Paul is one of the oldest cities, along with Minneapolis, because that's where everything started, right? So let's talk about that today. We're gonna walk you through, as I mentioned before in the beginning of this video, we're gonna walk you through the coffee shops, restaurants, dog parks, actual just regular parks, religious centers, to kind of give you an idea, since you want to be moving into the community, to kind of give you a feel for what you're getting yourself into, or the type of area you're getting yourself into. Because if you're moving from out of state, it can be a little bit scary. And if anything, just to communicate, I know a lot, and we know a lot about our community that we live in, and we love talking about it because Minnesota is the best. I mean, we got four of the worst seasons you could possibly have: cold, colder, coldest, and not so warm. I'm joking. I digress. It's a great community. I absolutely love this state. I've lived here my entire life. I travel from Minnesota, and from my personal belief, it is a state that is absolutely amazing on scenery and opportunities for outdoor enjoyment. And we're going to just give you a little bit of a flair logistically what you're going to be going through as it relates to, like I said, retail stores, shopping, and how to maintain your animals and maintain your kiddos that act like feral animals at times. So let's get into it. We've got, if we flash out here, the city of St. Paul is pretty much at the center of it. And you can see right in the center of St. Paul, coming into downtown St. Paul, is we've got 35E. Now 35E draws right through St. Paul, and it works its way down to where 35W and 35E actually join each other. 35W jogs quite a bit in downtown Minneapolis, but today we're just talking about St. Paul. Watch our map video from Minneapolis right after this, because we'll be talking about that too. As far as commute to work, 94 is kind of the main vein that runs through both Minneapolis and St. Paul. St. Paul is just to the east of Minneapolis. 94 runs right through the center of downtown, all the way out to Wisconsin past Woodbury. Woodbury's right here. You've got Lake Elmo Preserve, which is kind of cool, which is right over by the city of St. Paul. The Minneapolis Airport, wah, 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 like that. We've got the Mall of America. Mall of America is pretty great. It's right here. So if you were to be from the St. Paul area, the airport is probably about 13 minutes via car. And as it relates to like busing, Mall of America and the international airport's probably an hour away because they're a little more longer range bus rides. And they do have plenty of stops because there's lots of stops on the way to the Mall of America. Other thing to note is how 35E runs straight north. You can take 35E all the way north to where 35W, they down on the southern side, there's one 35 that goes even further south. But up here, to kind of wrap through and around both Minneapolis and St. Paul, you've got 35 north to your west, 35 east to the east, okay? They come apart, they join back together as just Interstate 35 when you get more towards the north. And if you look, 35E and 35W, probably about 30 minutes north of downtown Minneapolis, maybe like 25, actually joins back together. So it's kind of a cool, I like the way our state's set up. I like our transit system. I think it's really, really great because a lot of the roads kind of tend to come back to each other. It can be confusing if it's your first time, but once you get used to it, 35E and 35W, everybody gives directions on the basis of either 35W or 35E. And if we go back down now, and let's see and show you what's available on the MLS to kind of give you a price range idea of what you're going to be purchasing, so you can get an idea what fits in with your budget. So single family homes, let's look at results. Right now, the cheapest property that's available in St. Paul that's a house is 60 grand. And the most expensive, we got 11. Let's go to this. Looks like, yep, 3.995 million in the city of St. Paul. So a rather wide array. So there's a number of different styles of neighborhoods. You've got some river frontage. There is some lakeshore properties in the city of St. Paul within the city limits. And then of course you got downtown. Any of the houses that are anywhere near that are pretty expensive. So then next, let's hop over to, we're going to go to Townhomes. Let's pull up Townhomes. It looks to be that and the last one, there are over 200 single family homes available right now on the market in the city of St. Paul. As far as townhomes go, let's take a look at that. Currently active in the city of St. Paul is 18 matches. So that's not very many. And for as large as St. Paul is, if anything, that's a good indicator. We don't have as many townhomes in the city of St. Paul because it is a city. It was developed a lot earlier. Townhomes didn't really come into their world until like early 2000s. So you're going to see, well, early 80s moving on into the 2000s. And so you're going to see there's a lot of single family homes in St. Paul and not as many townhomes because the townhomes were developed generally in small pockets where like maybe at some point it was a neighborhood that was derelict and they just ripped all the houses down. Then somebody buys that land and puts in a huge string of townhomes. And that's common in the city of St. Paul. So city of St. Paul, we've got anywhere from $234,500 to $1.2 million. Once again, a very wide range of value. So you can get a better idea that there's going to be something available for you in St. Paul that fits with your budget. So feel free, of course, shoot us an email, shoot me a text, drop us a call. We would love the opportunity to be able to earn your business. And drop a comment if you've got questions. Feel free to ask questions, because I actively pay attention to this YouTube channel. And it's actually me that's talking to you when we're talking online. So in this area of St. Paul, we've got a line. So like I said, we've got like 770,000 that's down by the Minneapolis airport. Generally, because it is so close to the capacity to travel abroad and travel all over the US, the lots tend to be a little more expensive, and this is a newer construction, so it kind of makes sense. Up in the middle parts or closer to downtown, we've got 283 Irvine, it's 550 grand. We've got Phelan Boulevard, which is a perfect example, because Phelan Boulevard means that's an infill lot, because that's an area where it's predominantly single family homes. And so therefore these are going to be newer townhomes within the last like 30-40 years tops, that have been built, and in most cases they're really well taken care of and really well managed. So something really neat to consider when you're considering living in St. Paul in this particular part of the Twin Cities. Let's change and if you're wondering, how do I see properties like this guy does? Well, as a licensed professional, we have access to what's called the multiple listing service, and we have direct access to it. Because you don't have a license, likely you don't have direct access to it, or you're licensed in another state. And we can talk more about that once you contact us and we get on our first phone call, our first Zoom call. Let's talk about condos. Are you a condo person? Are you looking not to have to mow your lawn and clean your driveway? There's 120 places that are available in the city of St. Paul. So let's take a quick look at those, and we'll go to the map. See, we're ranging from 65,000 all the way up to 900,000 that are condos, meaning a condo is a lot like an apartment. It's like owning an apartment, if you will. You're owning from the paint inward, and then you have amenities like maybe a pool or a gym or something like that that's located inside the building. Not everyone, but most of them do. Or they have underground parking, or it provides like a bank of garages that you can rent one of the garages. Otherwise, you can park in the parking lot. So kind of neat. I don't know if you knew that or not, but just wanted to be educational. The next and last and final stuff about real estate in particular that I'm going to show you is twin homes. And it looks to be there's only a couple. Yeah, there's only a couple of twin homes that are on the market. What is a twin home? Think of it like a duplex that each of them has their own specific ownership. It's not one person owning it, it's two different people. You have to share the responsibility of the roof, but generally there aren't association dues on it. And so it's kind of between you and your partner household. So one thing that I always warn people against is just, hey, if you're not the type of person that deals well with others, this is not the type of real estate for you, because you're going to be communicating with your partner home that's attached to yours, and what they call like your wall essentially is your lot line, and they call it a zero lot line. And so like your garage is on this side, their garage is on this side, and you got like front doors are like right here in front of you, and then the rest of the house, right? And they do that because back in the 80s, they started doing the twin homes because it was really cheap construction. It was easy to do it when there was probably materials that were minimal, and they wanted to still be able to build something new and maximize the lot and be able to maximize density or population density in the area. Because in some cases, they wouldn't even been allowed to build just a regular single family home or townhomes, but they had to adhere to the desires of the city, that the city's trying to increase their diversity or concentrate and have more people in a smaller area, probably due to wanting to get their added funding for the year. So it was important that they get as many houses in as they could. So that's it for real estate right there. Why don't we jump over, man? If we're going to be looking at these houses, I need some coffee. So let's go check that out. All right. We're going to go to coffee shops in the city of St. Paul. That is awesome. Something kind of cool is a restaurant called Keys Cafe in St. Paul. Phenomenal breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Just a really good, not a greasy spoon restaurant. Definitely a 5-star kind of a deal. And they offer just really great coffee. Go in, have a cup of coffee, maybe have a breakfast or a brunch, or like they've got like, the hot meatloaf sandwich, or the roast beef on rye, or the Reuben. And they have a delectable Reuben, I gotta say. So there's let's see, French Meadow Bakery, Dogwood Coffee. Never been to Dogwood Coffee, but it seems like a very like bougie kind of an eclectic feel. They probably do live music or poetry reading at this particular one. Cafe Latte. It's another private party. Somebody that's earning a living for their family, and they love coffee and they love having soup, sandwiches, things to that effect. 4.6 stars, man. That ain't it's saying something to be 4.6 stars, and that's Google Maps. And generally Google Maps is pretty right most of the time. Let's go over here and zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Coffee shops. You got everything you can think of for the corporate ones, which would be a Starbucks or a Caribou or a Scooters Coffee. Scooters Coffee is a newer franchise. Well, they're all corporate stores right now because they're making a big financial push into the market, but they are more of an East Coast kind of a coffee shop. They're coming over here to try to dominate. They want to be able to be the competition for Caribou Coffee and for Starbucks. They're going to seem like they're on every single corner. It's going to feel like a lot of these coffee shops that I'm sharing with you, they're owner operator ones. So they're local. And so they're going to have like local brews. Some of them have a liquor license, or at least a beer and wine license, and they're open all day. Spy House Coffee is no exception to this. Spy House Coffee is phenomenal. They just have a really cool atmosphere. You walk in, you feel like you should have like a French beret on your head and be wearing like a black turtleneck and like khaki pants. Anyway, I'll stop. I digress. So let's head on over. We've had our coffee. We're energized. Are you ready? Let's go check out the restaurants. Okay. So, let's see, on Western Avenue, Loon Cafe. Yep, perfect. Dark Horse Bar and Eatery has 4.4 stars. And it is located right in the heart of St. Paul, right in downtown. Phenomenal place to eat. They offer street parking, and it's handicapped accessible. The Loon Cafe in St. Paul, it's, well, let's just read it. It's a relaxed brasserie famed for chili and soup. So it's a great lunch spot, great for business lunches, awesome for like a Saturday afternoon. Get a quick soup and sandwich, maybe have a coffee or an espresso after it. Fantastic. Handsome Hog, really great portions, very kind of 50s kind of style, tones of yesteryear, if you will. Next on the list, Rival House Sporting Parlor, another great place, 3.9 stars, pretty darn good considering it's really tough to get a high rating when it comes to having a bar and grill. So you're serving liquor and you're serving food. It's in my opinion, when you do serve liquor, you get people that get a little resentful. Maybe they've had too many cocktails and you tell them that they got to leave. And then they give you a crappy review because they're like, I don't want to leave. And you're like, whoa, you're making people uncomfortable. So that can happen. And so from my personal opinion, when I'm looking at Google Maps and looking at reviews of where my lovely and I would like to go eat for the evening, I'm looking at things like, okay, are they showing what type of a menu that they're actually having? And as long as they're above 3.5 stars, it's probably pretty darn good food and a really great ambiance or area or environment, if you will, that the way they've set it up and the way they've decorated it. So just a little tip. Don't know where you're coming from, but that's mine. Take it or leave it. Okay. I think we've covered a few of the different restaurants. Okay, heading on to the next restaurant. We're going to talk about the Bulldog Lower Town, which is right on the south side of St. Paul as you're looking at the river. So beautiful, beautiful views, really, really good food, and just a great place to maybe have a date night, kind of special. St. Paul Grill is very, very upper class, fine dining, fantastic, fantastic fare. Really, really good place. Brunson's Pub, baby. I think that's actually downtown. Hold on, let me check. Brunson's Pub is, no, actually that's on the north end, northeast end of St. Paul, just up 35E from downtown St. Paul. So more on the northern side. Gabe's Bar and Grill, another great one that's on the St. Paul side of things. Really, really great fare and much larger, more of like a commercial feel. That it would feel like a Texas Roadhouse, that type of a place. It's going to feel a lot like that. Moving on, we got to keep going on here because I don't want to get too backed up and spend too much time on restaurants because I'm full, man. It's time to go on to, let's go on to, let's get some exercise, shall we? Dog parks. For those of you that have fur babies, and if anything, your kids too, to be able to walk in the areas, if that proximity is important to you, to be able to exercise your animals with a frisbee or like, the throw thing, where it's like plastic and you put a ball in it and you throw it, like that is, those are great places to do that. So we're going to use that tool now. You've got the off-leash dog area. Now that's important to note, is that if it has an off-leash area or not, because many of them do not. And in the state of Minnesota, you're going to find we have a lot of parks, and our parks are second to none. They are kick butt, and just about every state has really, really great parks, but those that have come from other states generally have said, like Minnesota, bar none, has some of the best parks around. Moving on to the next dog park down on the south side of St. Paul is the Lilydale Off-Leash Dog Park, another great one. And I'm only pointing these ones out because these are the major ones. There are a smattering of smaller supported dog parks that are out there. These are the ones that Google Maps is responding to, and they have reviews and ... They're a little more organized. So just wanted to give you an idea. These ones are going to be within 5-10 minutes of just about anything. As you look in Lower Town, in more central St. Paul, there's a total of 4 of them, which kind of makes sense because as you kind of get out to these outlying areas out here, there's much larger yards and much more wildlife, if you will. Like there's much more trees and grassy areas and stuff where people can be able to exercise their pets. Let's move on to religious centers. Absolutely. Let's go to religious centers. Let's talk a little bit about the Cathedral of St. Paul, which is an absolutely massive Catholic church. It's so cool, and it's one of our, it's a very, very, it's so much ornate, like tooling on the outside, made out of concrete, and it's or rather stone. It's an absolutely beautiful landmark. A lot of our festivals and triathlon races, 5Ks, 10Ks, 1Ks, for you runners out there, are held right around the Cathedral of St. Paul. As we get into just more of it, like there's a lot of Judeo-Christian religious centers. We do have some Imam Islam centers. Let's see, what else we got over here. There is a Jewish temple and St. Jerome Catholic Church, Sacred Heart Church, St. Paul Hmong Alliance Church, which would be a Christian church, but it is primarily was started by somebody from Hmong culture. Our Lady Guadalupe Diocesan Shrine. I'm uncertain what particular faith that is. I suppose we could, well, you know what? Let's just look. Does it actually give us any? Well, it's definitely from Hispanic descent. Time in the mornings. Now they are Las Mañanas. There were many people and still enough seating. Apparently they have they serve food there too. That's awesome. Went to this church for years with my mom. Elizabeth Neubauer says, went to this church for years with my mom and even did confirmation classes with them for my quints. Well, or the quince. Yep, the quince, quinceañera, where she turned 16. Well, the staff who managed the space and appointments stole my mother's deposit and ran off. That's not really good. That's only a 2-star review. Administration at the time held zero accountability. Well, that's kind of a bummer. Here's a 5-star review. Ran into this place while visiting La Crosse, an absolutely stunning church that stirs you up spiritually. Highly recommended. Yep, spirit really moves at this place. Let's see, we've got St. Paul, Minnesota Temple, which is a Buddhist temple. The St. Louis King of France Church, which is another Catholic church. Resurrection Temple Church, which is a more evangelical side of Christianity. There's even a monastery. Wow. So there's nuns. That's pretty cool. Orthodox Christian Prison Ministry of Minnesota. That's kind of neat. Amazing Grace Evangelical Church. It's probably it's Pentecostal Church. Unity Church, which is a Unitarian church. If you are practicing Unitarian, you got a church for you within 10 minutes. Mon Buddhist Temple of Minnesota. That's off Larpenteur. Ooh, okay, cool. So that's going to be right there. Yep. Faith Church. I think that's enough for that. There's the Citadel Worship Center. Yeah. I think that's a good smattering to give you an idea. All of these churches are placed in and around the St. Paul City area. So if you're looking for a religious center along the lines of either Buddhism, Islam, Unitarian beliefs, a Universalist church, and community center type of churches that are like, whatever faith you are, just come and worship. It's totally fine. There is a couple of those that are like that. They weren't mentioned today, but they're easily findable. Again, drop us a comment if you've got further questions as it relates to religious centers. So let's move on to the next area, and let's take a walk through the parks. We've already talked a little bit about dog parks for your fur babies and for exercising your kids during the summer potentially, so that they can see some dogs, because sometimes our kids tend to act like feral animals. So Como Regional Park, really great area. It's got an arboretum. They do the Rose Fest in there, and there's just a lot of really cool festivals and a lot of neat things to see, do, and enjoy. You can rent kayaks. You can go boating because there's a lake involved with it. Just super cool. Additionally, let's go down to the far west, southern side of St. Paul. You've got the Hidden Falls Regional Park, absolutely gorgeous, which has got Minnehaha Falls in it. I believe that's Minnehaha Falls. So, and that is absolutely breathtaking. It's a great place to do like a staycation where you're out exploring the state of Minnesota. Absolutely beautiful. Getting down a little bit further southeast in the city of St. Paul is, well, I think it's Laurie's Park, or is that what it is? Yeah, Lorraine Park. Super nice, super beautiful, great scenery, wetlands, docks through the wetlands for you to walk on, walking trails that walk over water. Super cool. Great for like wedding photos and all that kind of stuff if you want to get natural shots for you and your favorite person. Or for you and your favorite person, just going out and just kind of doing a photo shoot together. Great place to fly a kite or to be able to play in the playgrounds. Just about all of these that are in the St. Paul area have playgrounds at them. Not only do we have these recorded parks and they're on Google Maps, there are just a plethora of parks that are neighborhood parks right in just about every community in St. Paul. So you can't really go more than 10 blocks without stumbling into a playground, maybe next to a school. If not next to a school, it's just a really big lot that's got like soccer fields, maybe one ball field, and that people gather at for like adult softball. Sometimes they're perfect for t-ball practice and things of that nature. And I would say, so what have we covered today? We've covered restaurants, coffee shops, what's available in the state of Minnesota as far as listings that are available right now. We talked a little bit about religious centers. And I think that's a really good, place to stop for today. And we'll be doing another one, because what I want to do is I want to be able to separate out the quadrants of St. Paul. So I'm going to break that out in a future video. So make sure that you stay tuned, click that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, smash that like button on your way out, right? Hey everybody, Garrett Hilton here. Just one last time, make sure that you click the subscribe button, tap that notification bell, and smash that like button on your way out so you can be the first one to know about the current market in St. Paul, Minnesota. And once again, thank you so very much for watching the video all the way through to the end. We truly, truly appreciate it. Feel free to hit us in the comments. You stay classy.